All right, welcome back. Today we are going to be making a glitter acrylic tumbler. And this is what we would call a snow globe. And it's just a cup that has glitter on the inside and it swirls. So you would shake it up and it's in there. It would kind of float a little bit and look very, very pretty. So this is what we are going to be making today. And we are going to be using a white kind of sparkly holographic glitter with some purples and some blues. Again, being close to Christmas, I kind of want to keep a theme going. And again, every time you are crafting, make sure you have wipes to wipe off and so that you don't get your items dirty. So for an acrylic tumbler, obviously you will need a tumbler. You can use like the Starbucks double wall acrylic. Those are very popular right now. You will need, there's several things you can use. Obviously you will need glitter. You want to use pure PET glitter. You do not want to use craft glitter because craft glitter does bleed. So whenever you would put it into your tumbler, after you add your liquid, it would turn your water into a different color. So you need glitter. You are going to need glycerin. You will need water. And then the other things can vary by whichever you like. I like using UV resin to seal the bottom of my cups, but I have seen people use tape. I have seen people use hot glue. So there's a lot of things, a lot of different things that you can use to be able to make it work. You need a syringe so you can top off your cup so you don't have a big bubble like that one that I showed before did. And so to start, which I have already done off camera just because whenever I get all my cups, I prep them. And the way I prep this one is by making the holes. So I've got 2 holes at the bottom. A bigger one for me to be able to put my glitter and my liquid, and then a smaller one big enough to fit the syringe so I can top off with my liquid. So to get started, this one does require some patience just because you will make a mess, and you just have to go very slow so that you don't get everything all over the place, and you can kind of see kind of like what you're doing. So you want to start off with a little bit of glitter, and it's kind of hard to do this. Let me see, let me make sure. I'm gonna move you guys up a little bit so you guys can see the top of the cup. There we go. So just very slowly, I'm going to be putting glitter in through the hole. There we go. Or if you want to, you could also add it to the top, just like that, and then just kind of tap it in, and kind of move the extra glitter in. If you have a brush, that will help. But again, you just have to go very slow. You can't pour all of the glitter in at the same time because you will make a mess. Alright, so we have those in. Then we're going to add a little bit more. And we are going to tap it in. And as you can see, it's coming down on the sides. Depending what liquid you're using is going to make the flow of the cup. So with glycerin, you get kind of a little faster flow. That's just the way I like them. you can use glue, clear glue and water. That is going to give you a more slower swirl. And I have more control with this little cup, which is why, even though I have the glitter all mixed into the other one, because I'm actually using two different glitters, two different size glitters. So I'm using what we call a chunky and what we call a medium. So a chunky, I believe, is like 5 millimeters, and a medium, I want to say, is 1. Glitter comes in all kinds of sizes, all different types of sizes. So you have chunkies, you have mediums, you have fines, you have ultra fines, you have ultra fines, and you get into the powders. So it's all kinds. Whenever you're making an acrylic tumbler, you want to use a chunkier glitter, because if you use a fine, either a fine or an ultra fine, it's going to clump up. So you don't want to use fine glitters in an acrylic tumbler. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of liquid so that the bottom of my glitter doesn't get stuck all the way at the bottom. And for that, I'm going to use my syringe, and I'm going to use that little side pocket, side little hole that we have. Just so that I can kind of start soaking in. Alright, and a wipe to clean off. And actually, I'm going to use a rag just because I don't want nothing wet on there, because my glitter will start sticking, and I do not want that to stick, because it'll make it really painful to get that glitter down. Alright, so an easy way to clean up glitter, if you do work with glitter, is tape. Is duct tape. Work on a flat surface like this, and then just grab your tape, peel it, and put it down and lift it up and throw it away. There's no saving the glitter. There's no point in saving the glitter, because if you try to scoop it, it'll be probably an even bigger mess. Glitter literally flying all over the place. Alright, so I think I'm gonna leave it right there on the glitter, and we're back. For some reason my video stopped, but luckily it makes a sound whenever it kind of wants to stop, or whenever it stops. It gives a little shudder. So I know that I need to just set it to record again. Because imagine if I was talking all this time, or if I would have kept on talking all that time by myself. I am just pouring in the liquid. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top just quite yet, just because I want to make sure. I'm going to shake it up, and I want to make sure that I like the amount of glitter that was put in, or if I want to put more. You always want to go kind of start with less, just because it's easier to put it in even after than having to take it out. It can be done, but it's not a fun thing to do. Alright, so now very carefully I'm going to close both of the holes with my fingers, and I'm going to shake it up. Look at that, look how pretty. That's beautiful. I think I need to add a little bit more liquid so I can get a good view of if I need more glitter or not. It looks like I'm going to be short on liquid too. I must have not mixed enough. That's okay. Mixing that liquid doesn't take a long time, so we should be okay. Alright, and I'm going to dry this up. Look how pretty. It is beautiful, and I think, I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know if I want to add a little bit more. No, I think this is okay. I think this is okay. I don't think I want to add any more. So now I'm just going to fill it up with liquid. Just finish filling it up. And actually, I do have a little bit of glitter here. I'm going to pour the liquid in here to try and get some of that glitter and pour it in there. Alright, so we want to get all the way to the top. Oh, actually, I think I mixed just enough. I am like a tad, I think I'm going to be like a super tiny bit short. We want to get the water all the way to the top so that we are able to seal it. Okay, so we have it all the way to the edge of the water. So this is the tricky part. This is where your UV light comes in, and mine is actually almost dying. So I'm hoping that it'll be enough. And the UV resin. So UV resin is a hardener that uses UV light to become hard. So this has to be done pretty quickly. You add a little bit of UV and then you seal it. Or you put the UV light on top to make it hard. And we're going to let that sit for a bit. You can really use any UV light you want. Alright, and I'm just gonna close it through the sides. Again, you have to go slow so that you don't drop it all the way in. Like if I was to put the UV resin over the whole hole, it might sunk in and then that wouldn't look so pretty. And I'm going to do it on this side. The last thing I will close is the little hole on this side. And then what you could do for the bottom of the cup is just get epoxy. There's 5-minute epoxy where you can seal the whole bottom. Alright, so now I have the whole hole already covered. So now I will just kind of be a little bit extra careful and seal it, or you know, add UV resin to the whole thing. If you don't have a UV light, you can work outside in the sun. Sun rays are UV rays and they would actually seal it up for you. You wouldn't need a light. You would have to work really, really fast, especially if it's sunny out. I'm just going to dry the water. I had some water that was sitting on the outside, and I'm going to close this hole and I'm going to turn it over, see if I have any leakage. Doesn't look like I do. Perfect. And this is what I was saying, this wonder if, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on the video. There it is. That bubble, it doesn't look too bad here. But if we are able to add liquid, you know, to the whole thing, we wouldn't have this little bubble up here. And that's what I want to attempt. So I'm going to mix just a little bit of glycerin. And again, remember, you want equal parts. We don't need a lot. So I use cups that have markings of 30 milliliters or 1 ounce. So this right here is about 5 ounces. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of water and measure it. And stir it, because I don't know if you guys can see it right there on the video. It's a little bit cloudy. Once you stir it, it will clear up. Alright. There we go. You guys can see it is now clear. Oops. Now I'm just going to use my syringe. And if I can find the hole, here it is. Work carefully because it is almost at the top. And if you if you do it too fast, it's going to shoot back up in your face. And you don't want that. I'm going to put it at an angle now, just so that I can try and get as much air as I can out of it. Alright. And now we'll do the same thing with that hole. We will add the little UV, and then we will seal it with the UV light. So this UV light, like I was saying, is kind of dying on me, so it'll take a little bit faster, but normally with about 30 seconds you should be okay to let it go. So now I'm going to flip it over, make sure I don't have any leaks, and it looks like I am okay. But there we go. That is it. Again, if you have a vinyl cutting machine, you can add a name, a decal, you know, something Christmassy, something pretty. But this is ready to go for your drinks. Well, again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. You guys know where to find me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.